Hello everyone. Today I'm doing a different kind of video. I'm not doing one about Blue. I'm not doing a going to work video or a driving home video. I'm not doing an on the road video like I said I would do today. This isn't a part 2 to anything like I've been supposed to do. This video is to expose the truth of two things. Number one, my last roommate that was sort of in one of my videos and was never seen again on my video, she left. As some of my viewers know. And I thought she was a nice person. I honestly had nothing bad whatsoever to say about her before. But she keeps coming back. And sorry. She comes back when I'm not at the house. And yes, I know you watch my videos too. So that is why I'm doing a video about it. I wasn't going to call you out on it, but I am now. My roommate that I had turned out to be on drugs. Her dealer was the one who convinced my family to move her in the house on me. So, that's just great. And I didn't know anything about this until close to when she left. One moment. So, that being said, there was some deception going on there. When I found out, she was already living in the house and getting high. And the way I found out was she took something that the other woman gave her, which she said was a Tylenol, and that she needed it for her back. And the other woman was like, yeah, I gave her a Tylenol. That's all. A Tylenol's not going to make you pass out for literally a day straight. Wake up just long enough to go to the bathroom, like almost 24 hours later, only because I beat on the door so hard, because my uncle was looking for his rent money from her for the light bill. She got up all mad, went to the bathroom, laid back down, passed out again, and could not wake her up for hours upon hours again. So, that's how I found out. And I was not going to call her out on this. I was going to let it go. Like I said before, I don't like putting other people's business out there. And I wouldn't have even done it now if it wasn't for her stealing from me. Look, I know you watch my videos, so I know you'll see this. I don't mind giving you things. If you need something, ask. Don't just steal it. She's left most of her stuff here. Refused to get it. Says she doesn't. She's like, well, I don't want that, so you can have that. And then she'll come back for it just so she can stick some of my stuff in the bag. She's stolen 2 t-shirts of mine that I know of, and a few other things I'm not going to mention. Yet, but if you make me mad enough, um, but she has stolen 2 t-shirts of mine, and I have, at one point in time, I removed the t-shirt from her bag. She picked the t-shirt up, she put the t-shirt back in her bag, and she took it to the car. She has no idea she did this. If you are so high that, you have no idea what you're even doing, there's a problem. Now, I've never been on that kind of stuff myself, but I've known some people who have, and I understand it's an addiction, and I understand, sometimes you can't help it, but you can if you really try hard and get some help. Not everyone can do it by themselves. I've known one person who did. She got off of them and didn't have any more. I've known other people who never got off of them and died. I've known some people who got off them, got back on them, got back off them, but with enough help eventually stayed off of them. Now, that being said, old roommate of mine, I'm not going to put your name out there. I'm not going to say anything to indicate who you are. But, please be aware that I'm making this video to reach out to you because I know you watch my videos and tell you stop. Okay, my living situation, I've mentioned briefly in some past videos. This is it. I was living with my mother and stepfather. My mother was, she had some problems. She was disabled. I was helping take care of her until she passed away, and my stepfather kicked me out again. And he wouldn't even let me get, my personal belongings. I got what I could, but my stepfather wouldn't so much as let me have my dead son's ashes. So, and he tried to make how do I put this without YouTube not liking it? Let's just say he tried to make a pass at me. He said some things and said that was the only way I was going to live there is if I was willing to do certain things. He was very cruel to me when I was living there. Thankfully, it never got to that extent, but it got so bad that he blocked off the bathroom. I couldn't use his bathroom. I couldn't eat in his house. I couldn't speak or look at him in his presence. I stayed in my room all the time. It got bad when she was alive. But I stayed there, and I was still helping with her. And when he wouldn't feed her, I would get food for her. And then, after she passed away, and he said what he said to me, well, first at the hospital when I was crying, he said that I needed to stop crying because basically if I cared about her at all when she was alive, that I wouldn't be crying now, that I should have been better to her when she was alive. So he didn't care. He was on to his other women, which he already had for years because she was disabled, mentally and physically. So, when I got kicked out again, as he had done so many times before in the snow and the rain, he just didn't care. That time I was kicked out in the middle of the night. I ended up here at my grandmother's house, who is now deceased. I've been able to stay at my deceased grandmother's house since she passed away because I was here taking care of her. Then she went to the nursing home and ended up passing away. I'm only allowed to stay here temporarily until they sell the house or I find a place to live. And that's the live-in situation. I kept mentioning my live-in situation is temporary. I don't know how temporary. But basically, I wanted to call my roommate out. Because she has... See, my family... Like my aunt has told me, it's just somebody to call family. She said a lot of things. But basically, the basics of it, they don't really care. They don't help me out with the house. They don't come by. They just let me live here. All it is a place to stay because it's what my grandmother would have wanted. And that's it. I barely make any money working at fast food. I have my first job. I recently lost my second job. We'll get to that in a minute, because that's the second thing I'm going to call them out to. My roommate, though, I know you come a lot when I'm at work. I know you still have your key. I know your dealer has her key that you gave her. That day we were in the car and we went to Walmart and a separate one was made because you said in case we lost ours, then she would be able to help you get back in. And I know you said, you don't care, you'll come when I'm at work. But listen, I'm not going to stop you from getting your stuff. I don't like that you take mine with it. And if you would just try to get all your stuff in one thing, just one time, I'm okay with that. And if you think you forgot something, you can come back and look. Once, maybe twice, just to make sure. Like, I'm not the kind of person that's going to be like, no, you can't come back and get your stuff. So that you have to, I guess, leave a little bit to make sure you can come back. Because no. If you think you left something behind, that's different. But stop trying to go behind my back. Why are you always trying to come when I'm at work and not here? Like, the times that I've caught you, just like when you were outside talking to those two guys you brought with you, the first time you came back when I was here, and you said, oh, she's not here, we can go right in. And you tried to open the door and the chain inside caught it. And just like all those other times that has happened. And the other day, when you came twice in the same day, and both times when I told you my uncle was on his way, you said, oh, we'll leave and come back. Why avoid him? Yeah, you owe him money. He said he doesn't want the money. He just wants you gone. So, and look, I'm not trying to be mean by calling you out. I don't mean this in any kind of bad way. I just felt like, since you had to sell your phones for money, and all this other stuff, and you only could give me like a family member's number, I really couldn't reach you. I know you watch the videos sometimes, so I was going to leave this on here for you. In case you see this, stop coming when I'm not here. You do not live here. That is trespassing. And that is breaking and entering. When I am here, you know every time I open that door for you, even when you're trying to sneak. I don't know if it's that you're so high you have to sneak around. I don't know what it is. But you know I don't tell you no, you can't come in and get your stuff. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that matter, because I'm not trying to be mean to her. I'm just trying to get a message across. Now, on to the job. I just lost my second job. I still have my first job, which is still my favorite job. I love that job. But my second job that I got didn't work out. They lied to me from the beginning. They were hiring me as a manager, at $10.50 an hour. Then she wanted me to quit my first job. I love that job. I'm not quitting. So when we went back and I told her, look, I can't do it, she cut my pay and told me I'd work as a regular crew person until I was ready to quit that job and just work for her, because she wants her employees on call 24/7, whether they're on the schedule or not, and that's just the way it is. I'm not a nurse. I'm not on call. I'll be on call, but I'm not like an on-call, call me at 1 o'clock in the morning if you need me type of on-call. I've done that before at a fast food restaurant. And I honestly broke the clock a lot with my hours. Like, it would be nothing but errors. Because I was there 2, 3 shifts in a row, on and on. Like, if they needed me until I couldn't move anymore, I was there. But I have an obligation to my first job. And I worked there first. And it is my favorite job. And, anyway, there was some confusion. I walked in. They said I wasn't a shift leader. I was just a biscuit maker. And shift leader is management position, by the way. And that's how that happened. And she tried to say I refused to do the biscuits. No, I said I don't mind doing the biscuits, but that is not my primary job. I was trying to make sure I was hired for what was said. And then she was like, well, you refused to do biscuits. I could have written you up for that. And I'm like, okay then. And then, trying to bring up the fact, the first day, first of all, I applied for night shift. I didn't apply for morning shift. She forced me to do mornings, which I didn't even sign up for. I didn't check that box. That box was left blank. But I did it. I came in, I did their biscuits, I did what I had to do. So the next day she wanted me to be there, and I said, look, I put my account in the negatives, to come to work, because I had to use Lyft. And I didn't have the money, and Lyft wasn't taking it because I was already too far in the negatives in my bank account. I couldn't make it. I had already shown her my permit. This was right before I got my license. And that same day, that I couldn't make it there, after showing her I only had my permit, she tried to say I was unreliable. I told her I had transportation. I was like, no, I showed you my permit. And she said, well, you also said you had reliable transportation. And I said, I have Lyft if I don't have my car, but it's not, I never said that I could 100% make it today. And she was like, well, you said you had reliable transportation. And I was like, but I showed you my permit. So, but that same day I got my license, I didn't bother calling her back. She was so rude to me. Constantly saying I'd refuse to do biscuits. I told her and she just called me an unreliable employee and just really rude to me. So I didn't bother to call her back. I went back in to quit a few weeks later, and instead, I ended up having my pay cut and working as a regular crew member from $10.50 down to $8.50. And she wanted to go lower. And she only gave me 1 day to work. Now, she said that she would put me on the schedule for the night shift on the days that I worked at my other place, but she never put me on the schedule. My schedule was blank all the way through Monday. And then she wanted to call me during the time I was off. Like, I literally got a call at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm asleep if I'm not at work. I'm so sorry if it's blank beside my name and I don't have to be there and I don't answer your phone call. And I literally got 1 day to work that week. 1 day. So I called. I said that I quit. Somehow one of my friends called too and said that I quit. I don't know much about that. Something crazy with that, but if she's even telling the truth about that, I don't know. But I know I said that I quit. And now she's trying to say she's going to write me up. This person sent me a text message saying, I spoke with, and I'm not going to give her name, and she wrote you up and plans to terminate you. So I put, I already quit, so that's harassment. I guess I should call the police. Because she's been calling me nonstop. Calling and all this just, and now texting? Having her employee text me? Really? So, what part of quit? If I say I no longer work here, she has no right to write me up for no longer working there. I don't care what kind of lie she wants to come up with. If somebody quits, somebody quits. And it's for this very reason. Trying to intimidate me into quitting that other job, or I'll get a pay cut and just work as a crew member and I can work the night shift. I have certificates in small business management, employee development, ethics and character, cognitive behavior interventions, which is when two people have a confrontation in the work field or an argument. I know how to come between, hear both sides, stuff like that. That's basically cognitive behavior interventions. But anyway, I can get another management job. I don't need her. I don't need that company. But I feel like I was wrongfully written up. 'Cause I quit. I don't work there. I mean, did she just not put in the paperwork saying that I quit? And decide that I suddenly don't quit and she can now write me up? Like, I don't know how that works. So, I'm just like, I'm making this also to call her out, call to attention, because I know one of her employees watches my channel. So I just want to let this be known to her, to whoever else from that company. I quit. Like I said. So you can't write me up or fire me. 'Cause I quit. Anyway. But again, I love my first job. I just came from my first job. I still got it. And I'm not quitting. Not gonna happen. For those of you from my second job that wanted that to happen, sorry. I love my first job. You knew that from the beginning. So, I hate having to call people out. I am not a confrontational person. I actually have severe depressive disorder, very bad anxiety, and PTSD. When I call someone out, it's when I really can't emotionally take it anymore. And I felt like doing it on here because they watch my channel. And I felt like this was the only way to actually reach them, because if I go in there, I don't know what'll happen. But I can't handle confrontation, and I don't want to go back in there and talk to her. Because she's so mean to me, and she's so demanding, and I can't handle it. Like, I've dealt with confrontation all my life. I've had a rough past before what I even described that's been so much worse on me. I might get to that in an eventual video. But basically, I wanted to do this video to call out some people who do watch my channel so that they would understand. And look, people from my second job that want to fire me even though I quit. Back off. I'm not coming back to your company, so you can't fire me. And that write-up, how can it even stick if I already said I quit? I don't see a way that it can. But, anyway. And I am sorry if, I hurt your feelings for calling you out, roommate that I had, or manager. But I felt like this was the only way to reach you. Because it's roommate, I can't really reach out to you in person, and you do watch my videos. And manager, you're so mean to me that it's hard to talk to you in person. There's only one nice manager at that place that I've met so far. Well, two. One female and one male one. But anyway, I'm sorry if this sounds like a confrontational thing. I don't really mean for it to be. I am just upset of the situation and felt like it needed to be said to certain people. And again, I'm not calling out names. I'm not going to tell you where I was working at. Because honestly, I don't want to bring anything on them. But anyway, I do appreciate you if you watch this video. Even those of you, and honestly, roommate, I got no problem with you. I really don't have a problem with you. I'm just saying it to bring it to your attention. Stop stealing from me. If you like something that I have, ask. And I don't really have anything against my old manager at my second job, except the fact that she lies and she's mean. But we can get past that. No hard feelings with you as a person. But anyway, I do appreciate all of my subscribers. I appreciate all the views that I get, all the likes that I get, and just please no one think that I'm actually trying to be mean to anybody, because I'm not. I try to keep it nice the best I can. Anyway, if you are new here and have not yet subscribed but would like to, or if you want to see some videos about Blue, a cat that I have done some videos about, just click on some of my other videos. I do random videos. It's very rare that I will do a calling somebody out video like this. I mean, it's really not in my nature to do such. But, and if you are not new here and have yet to subscribe, please do so. And now I've run into some issues. Some of my friends wanted to subscribe, but they didn't quite know, much about their phone. If you look underneath the video, it says subscribe. If you just click that, there should be a bell beside it to the right of the subscribe button. Hit that and go to all when it pops up, and you'll be able to see notifications of all my videos. Anyway, and I know some of you know how to do that, but I have ran into some that did not, but said they wanted to subscribe. So that's just to help them out. Again, I appreciate all my viewers, all the likes I get, all the subscribers. I would appreciate any comments that you want to leave, and like if you agree with me, and like if you like it. Thank you for watching.